Hello, my name is Hannah, and today we're building an apartment in San Myshuno, and this is my second build back, and I think this is where it went downhill. The other builds are okay, but this one just went full down and then it came back up again. I did not know what I was building. I was exhausted this week, but I still wanted to play The Sims, and so I was like, okay, I can build something. Maybe I'll just do an apartment tonight. And so I just kind of placed down stuff. So for the first, I guess 3 minutes-ish for you and 15 to 20 for me. I just kind of, well, I guess it was more like 15. I was just kind of placing it down and hoping it worked because I was too tired to think with a theme or a style of any sort. And I think this was Monday or Tuesday. I think it was Monday or Tuesday, somewhere like that. And so I was just so tired. And so I was just putting stuff down, hoping it worked. I had no style for the first at least half of it, and so I was kind of worried it was going to be ugly, but it wasn't that bad, and it turned out like a blue and yellow, which a lot of my builds are blue and yellow, but it's a good color scheme. And so I kind of changed things a lot. Like you can see that I fully changed the lights that I was going for and changed it to something else. And then Fairly Positive, I changed the floorings at least a couple times. And then the colors I was just not quite sure on. And so I was double checking every single thing and doubting my choices and all that stuff, which is really, basically what I do when I'm exhausted and I'm trying to build something that looks semi-decent. But it ended up all good, and I went with this blue with the parenthood, and I just kind of went with it, and then went with some yellow. And it was pretty basic, but it looks really good, and I got some yellow walls and stuff, and I really like the layout of this apartment, which I feel like I've used this layout at least a couple times, but I don't play with this specific apartment very often just because I don't like the huge walls, because they're really just very excessive. For a small apartment, I understand, but the small thing with the tall walls makes the area look bigger, but when you're in a video game, I don't want the walls to be that tall. It is not necessary. There's nothing that goes up there. You're not inside the house, you're on top of it usually. You're playing a game. It's not necessary for the walls to be that tall. But it's a good shape, and I can get enough spend time in this kind of tall walls to be able to make something out of it. And it's not horrible. Obviously the walls could be taller, but they're not. Thankfully, they're just kind of annoying. And then I was trying to make a centered thing here in this kitchen. Mind it, as I said, exhausted. I don't even know if that microwave is functional. The sink, I'm not even sure if you can get to it. It's an aesthetic kitchen. It also might be fully functional. I'm not really sure. However, I also noticed right there that it was not functional because I had put something on all of the things. So I fixed that. You should be able to at least make a salad, I'm hoping. I think, if anything, there should be at least salad making capabilities. However, I'm fairly positive everything else is fully functional. I think it's just the kitchen in that one area with the sink that I was kind of having some issues because I didn't realize that the counters stuck out in a little cube on the edge. So, that was the whole thing. But it looks cute when you use the counters correctly. I just don't do that very often. So this is where I pull in that yellow. And that is about it. It is just blue and yellow and this beige kind of color, which I've been using more, which I really like. Just mixing up with the wood colors. I kind of just have gotten lighter over the years with my wood tones, and so I think that's really fun. And that is about it for the build. So I am going to move on to some of the things that I've done this week. The first thing is something that I've done 2 minutes ago. Well, 4 minutes ago. I'm 4 minutes into this voiceover. I am drinking lemonade while doing these voiceovers, which is a horrible decision. And it's not yet to the point where it hurts, but I am going to, it is definite. By the time I get to 3 or 4, I'm going to get done with my voiceover, drink the lemonade, and regret it, because it is very acidic, I think. I think my chemistry class failed me on that one, but it feels acidic, it hurts, and especially when your throat is sore, you shouldn't drink lemonade. But I wanted lemonade, and I was tired of water, and I wasn't really thinking, oh, maybe when I do my voiceovers, I shouldn't have lemonade, so I just started voiceovers and went, huh, maybe that's a bad idea. But at this point, I'm only on 2. 1.5 basically, and so the lemonade hasn't fully done it, but also the lemonade makes my mouth like sticky, so I can like feel that I am drinking lemonade, so it's like kind of hard to talk and swallow, but you know, it tastes good, so obviously that's okay, and it's sugar free, so it shouldn't kill me other than the fact that it's gonna hurt my throat, so I guess that's okay. And so not moving on from the lemonade to it was the first week back from spring break this week, which it was it honestly it went pretty quickly, I guess, but like in the moment it was like really tiring. I was so tired. I talked about this last voiceover. I was just so, or that might have been earlier this voiceover. I'm already losing my mind. It's okay. I was really, really tired this week, and so I am still tired. I honestly don't know if I'm going to be able to get through all 4 right now because I am just losing my mind at this point already. And so I did sleep like 8 hours last night, so I guess that's good, but I was not sleeping well this week either, so you know, it's a whole thing, but that's okay. And they did a lot of homework this week. We've been doing a lot of stuff this week, but also like nothing at the same time. Like I just have a lot of stuff in some classes, and then in my English class, I swear we didn't do anything for the first 3 days, and I was like fully considering starting writing my book again, because I realized this week that I started writing my the book that I was writing about a year ago, almost. I think it's in like a week, my time, probably about the time that this video is coming about, is when I first started writing it, and I thought that's crazy because I have like 7 chapters done, but to be fair, it's a lot of like figuring out how the world works, and so it's taking a while, and also I have had no motivation to write since October. And I didn't realize that it had been so long until like 3 days ago, so that's pretty bad. But I have figured out a lot of the plot holes since then, but I think I just need to write, because if there is nothing done with it, there's nothing there are 7 chapters and there's already plot holes. So to be fair, I'm not that great at writing, but this is also the first thing I've ever written really, and so it's all good. I'm just writing this for fun, but then I also just forgot about it for 6 months, so it's a whole thing. But we are also reading a lot of books. We just finished Pride and Prejudice in English class. I don't know if I even mentioned that in the first place, but we're now reading a book called Watership Down. My English teacher described it as Lord of the Rings with rabbits. To be perfectly honest, I've never read nor watched Lord of the Rings, so cannot confirm nor deny that, but so far it's kind of good, and it's not as confusing as some people say it is. Like, I feel like my parents said that it was kind of like odd. It is definitely odd, especially reading a book through the perspective of a rabbit is a little weird, but it is not bad, so we'll see. But I'm also only like 40 pages into it, so we'll see if it gets worse from here. But you know, the questions that we do for class are not that hard also, so it's all good. But I'm looking forward to finish it, and then I'm like on like book 11 of my 40 books this year, so I'm doing good. As long as I finish book 11 by the end of March, I will be a singular book ahead of schedule, which is really good. And I really enjoy having to do math every single time I add another book. You know, do some English with your math, and it's basically that. And so it's very fun. I like math though, so it's all good. But I also like reading a lot, so it's a whole thing. And then also, not this week, but last night and this morning, and also like a couple of days ago, it's a whole thing. I had GPU issues, which, to be perfectly honest, couldn't tell you what that is. I just know it's a computer thing that I needed to fix. And so I realized, I think it was like Wednesday, or one of those 2 days, Wednesday or like Tuesday or something like that, that my Streamlabs, which is what I use to like record The Sims and also what I record my voiceovers with, was like, your NVIDIA is out of date, and so you need to update it. And I was like, ugh. And so I did that, and it was a whole thing, but it didn't take that long. It just took forever to download, I don't know. But it was like a whole process. However, it had steps, and I very much thank the NVIDIA website for that one. That was a lifesaver right there. And so I got that all sorted out, and it was like, okay, you can use your Streamlabs again. And so I was like, good. And so then I went yesterday to try and like edit videos, because I edit them for the most part before I do my voiceovers, like basic editing before my voiceovers, the rest of it's after. But I was trying to do that, and I went to go put my like raw footage into the editing software, and it was like, no, and it was like, your GPU image cannot like thing error. That is not a full sentence, however, you should get the memo. It's all good. But it was like having issues, and so I was like, oh, and I didn't realize that NVIDIA was the GPU thing because it didn't say GPU when it said I needed to update my NVIDIA thing. But apparently when I updated it for my Streamlabs, it also made an issue with my editing software because it didn't know what it was supposed to be doing because I had updated it and not told it. And so I had to fix that this morning. I found this guy's YouTube video and it helped. And so that is basically what I do when I have any computer trouble, is just like type in my issue, because like I never have issues that somebody else has never had, which is a good thing, because I would never be able to figure it out if somebody else did not have the issue and figured out how to fix it. But this dude just was like, go into preferences, change it a little bit. I didn't do exactly what he did because that didn't work, but I like fixed it a little bit just to like my thing, and so then I fixed it and it was all good, and now I can do my voiceovers, which is really good because I thought I was gonna not have to do, or not, you know, get to do voiceovers, and I was kind of like not really sure what to do about that one. So that's good that it's all good now, and as far as I'm aware, I fixed it fully, so quite glad about that. But that is about all for this video. I'm going to end right about here, so subscribe if you did like today's video or if you want to see more like this. But it is almost screenshots time, and I post about 4 videos a week, so you can watch another video next time. Bye!